And hello out there, internet friends, Jersey Joe, and I am here with an edition of The Brew, Bar Talk at its finest. Grab a beer and join us live here. I want to welcome those of you joining us for the first time ever, exclusively on YouTube Live. We've ditched Periscope. We're on YouTube full-time now live. Join the conversation right now because here's a question we put on social media for this episode. What is one question you hate to be asked? I hope it's not that one, by the way, because we want to have lots more fun with you. Got an interesting stack of your questions coming up here in just a moment. Joel and I have ours as well. Those of you who watch the show all the time, you know. Well, actually, you'll never know what he's going to say. So let's get to Joel over there live in Vegas right now. Joel, what is one question you hate to be asked?
It's not so much one question, but one thing I really hate is small talk. And I know that this is not going to be a popular answer. I know people only do it to be polite. So if someone says, hi, how are you? I will say it back all the time. Like, I appreciate that people are going to be polite. But for whatever reason, I just want people to get to the point. If you have a question for me, just ask the question. First thing, please, just get to the point. That's my main thing. I don't like small talk and the hi, how are yous and how are you doing or, stuff like that. I just get rid of that shit. Just hit me up, ask me directly.
You bring up small talk. I've got to bring up this point. Me working in Manhattan, before the whole COVID thing, you make a lot of small talk because you have to take an elevator ride all the time, so you never know who you're going to get in the elevator with. So you got to have like some kind of small talk conversation ready to go at all times, whether it's my boss pops in there or, an anchor or somebody I work with. You got to be ready for that. Or like the big boss gets in here. It's like, so many floors of awkward silence. So you got to say something. But one question I hate to be asked, can I see some ID? I hate being carded. I'm double the age now, past being 21. I don't need to be carded anymore. Okay, at the airport, getting a plane or something, that's fine. But if I'm walking into a bar or casino, I am not 21. I don't look 21 anymore. I think I've earned the right now with the gray hair and the beard and stuff not to be carded anymore. I mean, you get carded all the time, still in Vegas, right?
I do most of the time, yeah. The overwhelming majority of the time I do. There's a couple places I go regularly, but I can see why, if I was your age and I didn't look 21 at all, I would understand why that would be annoying too.
It happens less and less, and more so it happens even more rarer for me to be carded in a casino, which drives me nuts. But every once in a while, we're carding everybody. Really, you carded the 65-year-old guy behind me? He just wants a Bud Light. I mean, it's okay. It's pretty much drinking a glass of water anyhow, so it's all right. You guys,
a waste of time. It's just like small talk. It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time, and sometimes it's some bouncer in a position of power, almost. Yeah, but
someone trying to flex on you, like I want you to know before you walk in that I can do stuff. I can ask questions. Like, yeah, okay, buddy, relax. We can also spend money down the street.
Exactly. Well, he has to do it there because they're going to go home back to the mommy's basement, have to listen to what mommy says to do. So, okay, I shouldn't have said that. Moment of comedy.
No, you should have.
Moment of comedy here, but you guys have a lot of questions you hate to be asked, like Jay Goof, who says, you never had meat. How are you still alive? Storman says, he hates being asked, you got a light? Now, I'm not a smoker, and neither are you, but that's got to be the biggest pain. Number one, because if you're out smoking, you don't want to stop and enjoy your cigarette. Number two, then if they're asked for a light, half the time they're asking for a cigarette too, and, well, those things, they're not cheap.
Yeah, especially that. It's kind of like when we were in school and you only had a couple dollars and you bought some gum and one person in the class asked for gum that first time, you gave them one, and then after that everybody asked gum from you, and you're like, well, eventually I'm going to be out of it for myself because I don't have enough money to keep. So yeah, that makes sense with the cigarette thing.
Lots more of your comments. Bronx Bombers has a long one here, but it is meaningful. She says, are you sure? I hate that in any capacity. And she gives an example. The engine is ready. QA. Them. Are you sure? Them. Do you mind if I borrow your air fryer? Me. Of course not. Them. Are you sure? That question drives me crazy. If I wasn't sure, then I'd say no or wouldn't proclaim that I was finished doing something minor, yet a pet peeve. Joel, are you sure?
Hey, you know what? She's on the same wavelength. I appreciate Lisa for that. We're on the same wavelength with that thing. Just unnecessary speed.
I want to know if she doesn't wear Shore deodorant because that was their tagline in the 80s. Raise your hand if you're sure. So maybe not her brand. Rock for Guitar asks, are you suffering from hemorrhoidal flare-ups? Nice. Heather Scavang Bologna says, what's for dinner? I'm not man enough to ask my mother this question even to this day and age because she hated it. Todoroka's dad says, how to gain weight? How to gain weight? I'm generally asking not because you're fat. And Doris Jukic with the final answer, when are you getting married? That's another good one too, but that seems to be more like grandparent small talk.
That's actually a pretty common one in small towns. So Joe and I can both tell you we both lived in small towns before. Oh, when are you getting married? Sorry. Screw you. It's none of your, none of your business, really. That's the basic answer is like, that's a personal question. Some people don't want that to be public. So I totally steer away from that one. I understand why people are upset about it.
It's also different where you live because being from a small town, it almost like you're expected to be married when you're young. But when you move like New York City area here, for example, that's not the case anymore.
Right. I never get asked that here. I never get asked that in Vegas, ever. It's not a part of life here. Like, that's not one of the things that's a regular part of speech like it is in small town places.
They're not going to ask you that in Vegas because you walk down the street and have it done in 10 minutes as long as you pay the JP and the $50 and you're out the door and you're good. So, hey, when are you getting married? I got married at 4:15 this afternoon and now I'm on my way to Excalibur to shoot some craps.
There you go.
That'll be my kind of wedding, but you know that we talked about it. But you want a guaranteed win, want a guaranteed fun, click that like or subscribe button down below for all the fun here on the Jersey Joe 5th YouTube channel, including a live show here just like this one, online game show, and more. 4 shows waiting for you each and every week. So I guess the final question we got to ask, Joel, to our viewers is, did you have a good time?
I hope you did. I hope. Please have a good time. If you didn't, just drink beer. That's what we do. That's how we make life less shitty.
Well, that's true. And it also makes you want to have a beer, too, when you're literally inside a giant graphic that is a giant beer. All right, Jersey Joe here, Eye in the Box, saying thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us live, and we'll see you next time, I hope.